Chris with HobbyKing.com with another great product we're going to talk about today. A lot of you guys know I'm the multi-rotor FPV guru here at HobbyKing, and I've definitely got something for you today. Now, everyone knows what the quads are, but to be honest with you, these frames are kind of getting old. Everyone's seen them out there, flame wheels, they all look the same. And to be honest with you, if you get them far away, it's a little hard to orient. Well, we got something for you today. I'm pretty excited about it. It's actually called the Predator 650. So let's take a look at this thing. I mean, right away, this thing is mean. There's a couple of features. I'm going to go through the specs on this thing first, and then I'm going to get into the nitty-gritty that makes this thing, or sets it apart from most of the frames out there. Right away, you're going to notice the styling on it, kind of a alien, futuristic type of looking quad. But as far as specs are concerned, it's a little bit larger. It's a 650, meaning the wheelbase is 650 millimeters between the motors in any direction. Now, even though it doesn't look like it, it actually is a square multi-rotor, meaning that it's the same distance here to here as it is here to here. And why that's important, a lot of multi-rotors out there that are foldable quads, and this is a foldable quad, we'll get into that, have to make some sacrifices to get their arms to fold properly. So they're more of a spider-style quad, or it's an asymmetrical lineup, known as like a V quad, where the arms are coming at an angle. Now those do have some advantages and disadvantages. One of the biggest disadvantages is the flight characteristics. They have to be tuned to fly right because of the arms being at different angles. Since this one is a square quad, makes it extremely easy to set up. You basically just put your flight controller right in the middle, and you're pretty much set to go on this one. Now, like I was saying, specs, 650 millimeters wheelbase. Now it takes a 2820 to a 31 can size motor. 11-inch prop, 4-cell setup on this, and you should easily get 15 minutes of flight time out of this frame. Another cool thing is when we design frames here, we kind of have a rule as far as weight is concerned. For every 100 millimeters, we want about 100 grams or less as far as weight, and that's kind of the goal that we've been going for in all our frames, and that seems to fly perfectly well. And this one comes in right at 650 grams, which is exactly what its wheelbase is. So it's extremely light. Now the cool thing is like I was telling you before, it is a foldable quad. So I'm going to go ahead and pop these down so you can get an idea of what I mean by that. And it breaks down nicely. Now, like I was saying before on the weight, even though this is a collapsible quad for storage and portability, it retains extremely rigid, the way that it's built up. Now I'm going to talk about the design of the frame on this. It uses what we call a center spine. I don't know if you can get in this right here, but it's got a huge 25 millimeter center spar running right down the center of it. Everything is bolt to it, and then the rest of it is a unibody construction that's built around the quad on this. Makes it extremely light, extremely strong, and when it's in the full out locked position, it's rigider than most frames in that size, even though it folds. It's a huge advantage to it. Another thing I'm going to roll over and show you while we got this out is these motor mounts on this thing. This is one of the things that really sets us apart from most frames on the market. From here to here, this is a solid CNC piece of aluminum. If we take a close look, you can see it's channeled down along here, along the sides, and obviously that saves a lot of weight on the aluminum, being aluminum that big, and extremely strong. So it's kind of like an H frame or a I frame if you want to consider it that. But if you take a look at these grooves right here, if you can zoom in on that, and you see these slots right here, not only does the motor mount bolt right there, it has motor slots for the wires to come out through the bottom, but these slots are for zip ties, and the ESC goes right in there. Let me grab an ESC and I'll show you how that lays in. So that would lay in right there, and you got your motor wires that are designed to go right through here, and zip ties right on the bottom, and that setup's right in there. And if you take a look on the top, it's variegated on the fins right on the top. It's a little bit of a raised surface, so it acts as a heat sink for your ESCs. So this is an integrated arm with heat sink and motor mount all in one. And like I said, the weight on this quad is 650 millimeter wheelbase, and the whole thing only weighs 650 grams. So it's extremely light, extremely strong. Another great feature about this quad is that it has a 60 millimeter hook and rod setup on the bottom. It runs full length of the quad body itself, and it is adjustable. You can change these mount positions from here to here, and there's a few other mounting positions on this. And what that allows you to do is move these rods forward and back. So since this is the front of the quad on the front, you can actually take these rails and slide them out the front and hang a gimbal off the front, as well as the battery mount on this. It can be shifted back or put on wherever you want on this for proper center of gravity and center of lift on this quad as well. So besides the rail mount, the foldability, the integrated ESC cooling heat sink with motor mounts, as far as the styling is concerned, like I was talking about, it kind of has the alien Predator type of look to it. what I've found on these, since it is a square quad, and I was talking about earlier that they have a little bit of an issue with orientation the further away you get. If you take a look at the gear, I found with this particular frame, you have no problems with that whatsoever. As it flies through the air, absolutely know which direction you're going with it. Has a presence in there. It's pretty exciting and fun to fly around. It actually looks really cool. Okay, another feature on the top, it has quite a few mounting options for all your equipment and gear. And one thing I want to point out, right here on the back, it has a slot, and it has a couple of these bridges that can be bolted along the frame. And what the slot is designed for, let me grab, is the radome, even though it's not a radome, but it's for your GPS, and it's supposed to go right in here for protection. And this lower mount can be slid over here, mounted right in here, and it bolts right on down, and that's your GPS mount. Right up in here is just your receivers and your flight controllers, and on the bottom side, like I was saying, you've got the full rail mount. Guys, this is an awesome frame. I can honestly say that it's perfect for aerial photography, FPV, because it folds, great for storage, perfect size, one of my favorite frames that we have. It's ready to go on the new items page. Definitely check it out if you're into multi-rotors. You've got to fly this thing. You absolutely have to see it. As always, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we will see you next time.